behind that statue over there.
Facebook?
If I could get everybody
We are
to go,
out
that'd
here
be great.
at the Climate March, and it is about 10:30 out here at the state capitol. We are getting ready to listen to some of the speakers. So we're going to work our way into the crowd and let you listen to what's going on and try and participate. Let's go march for science.
Make some noise if you love science. We got a lot of speakers today. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. First of all, I'd like to thank Oklahomans for Excellence in Science Education, Your Earth, Our Future, Party Galaxy, Eddie Boone, everyone who helped fundraise by purchasing a t-shirt, and everyone here today standing up for science. Make some noise. Before we get to our speakers, we actually have David Glover from badvoter.org who's been doing a lot of work, and he wants to talk to you about it. Please give a round of applause for him.
Okay, everybody pull out your cell phones. We're going to get a count of how many people are here, and then the marchers and the organizers are going to be able to get a hold of you in case there's a really bad science bill coming up. So everybody pull out your phones and get ready to text something. You're going to text to a 405 number in just a moment. But the key is we only want you to text your name and email address, nothing else. Nothing we love science or anything like that, though we do. So get ready to text the phone number 405-888-5033. And I'll repeat that in a second. And then you'll text just your name and email address, nothing else. In fact, I've done this dozens of times, and I'm having a feeling that this crowd's going to do it better than anybody else ever has. So just your name and email address to 405-888-5033. You'll see a couple of people are standing around. They'll angle it towards you, so if you can't hear me, you can see the banners. So text just your name and email address to that, and then we'll be able to stay in touch. But the real march and the real rally is the march to the polls and the rally on every single election day. So you're going to get a URL back. I highly recommend everyone here sign up for Vote by Mail. You'll get the state to send you an absentee ballot. You don't have to vote it, but it's the best way to get a reminder and do research of every single election so you never miss one. So we're going to do this one more time in a little bit later, but be sure you text your name and email address only to 405-888-5033. If you don't have a cell phone, borrow your neighbors and then text in your name and email address on their cell phone. So thanks a lot. Now we're ready for the next speaker, and James is going to announce it. Thanks a lot.
Oh, man. Okay, it's cold out of here, but we're warm together. Our next speaker is, I'm excited to bring her up. She's the co-chair for March for Science of Oklahoma with Marchers Pledge. Get up for Jocelyn Barton, everybody.
So excited to see all of you amazing people with your incredible and hilarious nerdy signs. What I am going to read out to you all is something that we are asking every marcher in the March for Science. There are over 600 marches across the globe. Right? And everybody has agreed to do these same things. So I'm just going to read it out to you all, and y'all are going to cheer and say, yeah! Okay? On my phone because I forgot to print it out. The Marcher Pledge. We, the peaceful, passionate, and diverse members of the March for Science, pledge to work together to share and highlight the contributions of science, to work to make the practice of science more inclusive, accessible, and welcoming, so it can serve all our communities, and to ensure that scientific evidence plays a pivotal role in setting policy in the future. We will build a scientific community that works toward the common good and serves all people. Strengthen the bonds of mutual respect and communication between scientists and the public. Ensure that policymakers have and use the best available science to inform decisions that affect the public. Support scientists if they are censored or punished for disseminating scientific evidence. Hold political leaders and policymakers accountable if they silence, ignore, attack, or distort scientific evidence. Fight discrimination, exploitation, and inequity in the scientific community. work to make sure that scientific research and scientific careers are made more accessible to people from historically underrepresented and marginalized backgrounds. This one's for you, Oklahoma. Advocate for the rights of every child to receive a quality science education and to access the technologies and tools that shape our world. Encourage participation in the electoral process at every level to link scientific advocacy with civic action and public accountability. Pass on to future generations our values of curiosity, free speech, free inquiry, and critical thinking. On April 22nd, we take a decisive step toward ensuring a future where the fullness of scientific knowledge benefits all people, and where everyone is empowered to ask new scientific questions. We march for countless individual reasons, but gather together as the March for Science to envision and sustain an unbroken chain of inquiry, knowledge, and public benefit for all. Yay, science!
Jocelyn Barden, everybody. Addressing the crowd next is the owner of Thick Descriptions and the director of the Guthrie Public Library. Give it up for Suzette Chang, everybody.
Okay, come on, guys. Y'all can do a little bit better than that. We are out here for science. That's right. Give it up. It's cold, but we gonna do this, right? All right. So as he said, my name is Suzette Chang. I am with Thick Descriptions, and I'm also at the Guthrie Public Library. At Thick Descriptions, I'm pretty sure you don't know what that means, so I'm going to tell you. Thick Descriptions is an anthropological term. It is the belief that every human being is thick in descriptions. So when you look at me, you see a black female, but did you know I'm also a mom? Did you also know that I'm a wife? Did you also know that I have 4 degrees? Woo. So what I am saying to you is what we stand for is pushing against the categorization that humans are just a number or a statistic. And when you apply that to science, it becomes far more contextual than that. It's not just about providing science, it's about providing science in an equitable way. Make sense? So what Thick Descriptions does is we go out to different communities throughout the state of Oklahoma and we bring anthropology into it. So not only do we offer science, but we offer it in a way that is significant to that community. So how many of you know about Boley, Oklahoma? Oh my gosh. Boley, Oklahoma is one of the historical black towns here in Oklahoma. Did you know that Oklahoma is the primary state that has the most black towns? Did you know that? It has many. And so we have targeted that particular community and other communities. We go out to them and we bring science to them. And we create it in a way that is fun and engaging and informal. So I stand here before you not just as a librarian, because I'm also that as well, but also as a science advocate. A person who stands behind and in front of many people saying, look, let's push the envelope. Let's make it accessible. Let's make it equitable for everyone here in Oklahoma. Thank you.
Suzette Chang, everybody. So when we talk about science, we're always talking about science in context to our future. With that in mind, we have 4 high school students all the way from Norman High to Cashel Hall to talk to you about what we're doing, how their future relates to this. Coming up first to the stage, please give a warm welcome from Norman High, Daniel Gindige, everybody.
Hello, my name is Daniel Gindige. I am a junior at Norman High School and I am president of the Green Recycling Club. Thank you. So, in a quote from Albert Einstein, vision without execution is just a hallucination. And the striking part about this is that Dr. Einstein was not only a physicist, but he was a German physicist. He lived in a society that was nearly devoted to scientific denial, and he saw a need for scientific change. 2.5 years ago, my fellow students and I noticed far too much litter cluttering our school campuses, so we started the Norman High School Green Environmental Club, and we recycle. We started with the small goal of emptying 25 bins in 25 teacher classrooms, and our goal quickly grew to a cooperative school-wide recycling system, and in 1 year, along with other groups, we recycled 28,000 gallons of recycling just from our school. That's amazing. And just 10,000 gallons of that is from the Green Recycling Club that just started with 25 bins 2 years ago. So a common message between both of those stories is that anybody can start a movement. Starting a successful environmental movement isn't about using money or power, it's about positively impacting people and empowering people to do what is environmentally expected. Because living green is not an extra way of living, it is the way that people should be living. Never let an adversary stand in your way of making a change, because if Dr. Einstein would have not done what he did, I believe that we would not live in a society that would have allowed me to start a recycling club. As a society that has been affected by Dr. Einstein and people like him, we want to explore the unknown and we want to seek scientific truth. All of us here today are part of that same movement for scientific truth, and we are truly making a change. Thank you.
Daniel Gindig, everybody. I want to make sure that everybody can hear us from the front to the back. So if you're in the back and you can't hear us, make some noise. If you can't hear us, make some noise. I might need some extra volume on that. All right, thank you. Coming up next to the stage, also from Norman High, give it up for Sarah Hobson, everybody.
Hello, I'm Sarah Hobson, a student at Norman High and a proud proponent of math and science in education. As a freshman enrolling in high school, I knew I preferred math and science, but was yet to find a more specific subject that resonated with me. I randomly selected a class that sounded cool, AP Environmental Science, and decided to enroll. Sitting in class that first day, one of 2 freshmen, I remembered wondering, what had I gotten myself into? But by the end of that first week, environmental science had become my favorite class. There we did much more than prepare for the AP test. We ran the school recycling program, maintained the garden plot, built solar ovens, and learned about the world's ongoing environmental catastrophes. We were inspired, pushed, taught to try new things. Our instructor, Mr. Lipsix, helped us become environmentally responsible citizens. While composting at the elementary school, learning to garden, and helping with the recycling program at my mom's work, I discovered my own passion. I wanted to dedicate my life to bettering our relationship with the environment. I have since then founded a high school club, ECOS, standing for Environmentally Conscious Oklahoman Students, and have worked with the local nonprofit, Rebirth, in their goal to provide gardens to local schools. 3 years later, I still help maintain the school's garden, compost piles, and sometimes work with the aquaponics system. Thank you, Rebirth. Now I've come here to Oklahoma's March for Science to advocate for the continuance of opportunities for Oklahoman students at a time when they're most in jeopardy. Gardens, just as science and math programs, are a crucial form of applied science and of active learning. They teach students about trial and error, patience, responsibility, awareness for environmental patterns, and so much more. Students, just as garden plants, grow and deserve to be in a nourishing and sustainable environment, an environment supported by math and science. Thank you.
Sarah Hobson, everybody. We have speakers from all over Oklahoma. Our next one's coming from Tulsa, also from Cashoha High School. Give it up for Bo Bingham, everybody.
You guys see a good view from the side here?
Hello, March for Science! I'm honored to be speaking here today. My name is Bo Bingham, and I'm a senior at Cashoha Preparatory School in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And what I really want to talk about is the importance of basic research and the importance of inspiring young scientists. Because I believe that if our nation were a body, research would be its heart, pulsating innovation, real life-giving solutions through its every nook and cranny. Because I believe that our success is contingent upon science. I believe that science in the here and now, science has been being done in labs, both in Oklahoma and in the nation, is responsible for the medicines, the technologies, and the essential products that will lead our country on a more innovative, healthy, and sustainable path. As a young scientist, a young person doing research, I recognize the importance of inspiring those young scientists. I recognize the importance of inspiring scientists, but also the importance of supporting high school teachers, high school mentors, college teachers, who are actively working to help young students who will come up with the next innovative technologies, medicines, etc. And that's why I want to have a round of applause for all science teachers, science mentors, those who are really supporting young people within the field. And that's why I call upon all of you to not only support those people, to support the young people, the fundamental unit of research, the researcher him or herself, but to also recognize the importance of supporting K-12 educational programs as a whole. Things that will build us up from the ground and support our future health implications, our future biosecurity implications, our future economic implications, and perhaps most importantly, our sustainability as a nation. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
Bo Bingham, everybody. Also from Cashoha High School, I want you guys to give a warm welcome to Mr. Braden Milford, everybody.
Hi, my name is Braden Milford, and I am a sophomore in high school, and this year is my second year to participate in the Oklahoma Science and Engineering Fair. This program allows middle and high school students to conduct their own research studies that go beyond the material taught in the classroom. This program allows Oklahoma students to explore current issues and topics in the science community. From working with cancer and genetics to studying forest fires in Colorado, the Science Fair allows students the unique opportunity to study any field of science that they may be interested in. In addition, this program could be the only way students across the state are ever exposed to the endless possibilities in science. Many of you may know that all state funding for this program has been cut. State Superintendent of Education Joy Hoffmeister and Director of Science Education Dr. Tiffany Neal both very strongly support the Oklahoma Science Fair, but they made it clear in a personal meeting that there is simply no funding in education at this time. We, as a state, need to backtrack and get our priorities straight. Education needs to be at the top of the list because science and education programs like the Science Fair are so desperately needed in our state. I would like to see this program supported the same way sports and other activities are promoted in schools across our state. I believe that every school in Oklahoma should be involved in this Science Fair program because this program is crucial to the development of young students' interest in science. Last week, a very generous Oklahoman donated complete funding for the 2018 fair. Our group, Oklahoma Students Advocating for Statewide Science, is currently searching for future sponsors to support the fair so that we will never have to worry about such a valuable program dying out. Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you, Braden. Up next, coming out of the stage from the University of Oklahoma, Professor of Geophysics, Kurt Morford, everybody.
Okay, so I teach geophysics. For those who don't know what geophysics is, if an asteroid hits the Earth, who are you going to call? If there's a volcano downtown Los Angeles, who are you going to call? If there's an earthquake in California, who are you going to call? Okay? That's a geophysicist. People don't give us respect. Now, what do I see here? I see granite.
All right, everybody. So, got to listen to a couple of speakers, several Norman High students. So, that was a treat. We got a shout out to Earth Rebirth. My phone is about to die, so I'm going to charge it a little bit. So you guys have the opportunity to follow along with us a little bit in the actual march, which I think is taking place in probably about 30-40 minutes. So, spread the word, share, march for science, dream big, act bigger. I'll see you guys in a bit.